CJ, how much ice cream you included in this?
Well, you can get one scoop, but I'm probably going to have to pay for
All
it.
right, perfect.
Was this in the original plan when they developed Kroger?
No, not really. I mean, most big box stores come in and they have a big area, and they always anticipate having some out parcels. So this is one of those out parcels that comes along. So,
I see. I wish you would have bought the Food Lion building.
sorry. I'll talk with them when we go out. Hopefully y'all vote in favor and we can leave early. I will just give you a brief update. There has been a minor subdivision on the property. Therefore, the property can't be conveyed to the developer. The thing remaining is council approval on site plan, and they have already entertained contractors to start the work. So essentially, they're ready to go. We have all in hand.
Any other questions from council? If there are none, a motion is in order.
Motion to approve, second that.
Have a motion by Mr. Scott, second by Mr. Ron to approve the request filed by Rankin Shadow LLC, requesting approval for a preliminary final site plan that consists of a 7,000 square foot retail office building. Property is located at 461 South Columbia Avenue. Any other question or discussion? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Brower? Yes. Mr. Ron?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
Kirk?
Yes.
Some of these get pretty easy to approve when you get Dunkin' Donuts and an ice cream shop.
Well, ice cream, get sprinkles and it makes everything better, right?
Ice cream shop.
Thank you, Mayor and
Work
Council.
hard on that UPS store, that needs to be. Thank y'all.
All right, new business item number 2, Joe Bueller, request approval to appear before council. Mr. Bueller.
Yeah, I'm here representing my neighbors on Hardy Road and Middle Ground Road. We have a lot of concern about the traffic on that Middle Ground Road. Buses going through there as a cut through instead of going,
Excuse me.
They're not-
Lieutenant, I think you might need to hear
Yes,
this
sir.
conversation. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Anyway, we got school buses going through there, rock trucks going through there, and students from South Effingham coming at about 11:30, going to Agee Tech or whatever that college is. And then on the return, they're going through there at 2:30 in the afternoon. And they're speeding through there almost every time they come through there. And the buses are just as fast as the cars are. And we got a lot of neighbors that are concerned about it. And Mark Mentor is one of them. And got Mary Bright, Edith Fields, Gerald and James McKelvin, J.C. Scott, Mark Mentor, and Carolyn and Ed George, and myself, and probably 5 or 6 more that are concerned about this. Some of us walk that road, some of us bike that road, and we really appreciate the fact that the road was repaved, but we also have some concern about that. Where the bridge is, there's no rails, and the shoulder is not very big on that road, so if you are walking, then you're pretty much walking on the white line. But we really appreciate the fact that the road was repaved, and we'd like to see if we could have somebody look into the situation with the speeding and the littering that goes on. I mean, it's every day. Ken and I know, he saw some of what I saw a couple of days ago where somebody had come along and threw 3 of these door jamb things that you put for your kids or your pets. Just threw them out there in the woods, right there at the edge of the road, and all kind of other stuff they threw out right there. But it goes on every day, and they're throwing stuff in the ditch, the little Sam's branch right there, or whatever they call it nowadays. What's the name of it now?
Sam.
Yeah, well, it's written up differently, but anyway. But we're just, you know, we're concerned citizens and really like to see, you know, what we can get done. I mean, Mark suggested speed bumps, but I don't think speed bumps is really the answer. I think what we need to do is get somebody, if nothing else, put a sign up saying, you know, this is not a cut through for one thing, and then, you know, maybe the speed limit says 30, all right? They ain't going 30, they're going 50, 55. And if you know, every once in a while I'll go like this, what's the deal? You know, because I'm out walking. They turn around, look at you like you're crazy, and just speed up instead of slow down. So it's getting kind of bad. And I'd like to see if we can get some resolved scenario to help straighten it out.
Mayor, this has been an ongoing issue. I spoke with the chief a couple of times on this, and we're gonna have to get some results on it. I think you and I talked about it too, and he said 55. No, they're running a lot faster than 55.
Some of them, yeah, some of them.
I've seen 3. They come off of that Mill Ground Road, and then they take the 7th Street over,
Mhm.
and that curve. I'm afraid that curve's gonna take some of them out, because I've seen 3 of them get hooked up in that curve. I don't know how in the world they came out of it.
Yeah, there's people live right there on that, right there where that curve is, and then you got the church, and they go, but the real problem is they go right by your house too. And they don't even slow down when they go that way, you know, towards your house.
Yeah, you're talking about my son's house. My son's house. Yeah,
No, I'm talking about your
In
house.
the curve. You're talking about in the curve.
Your son's house is in the curve,
Yeah.
but your house, if you don't make that curve and you go straight,
Oh, yeah, down on.
I mean, they go airborne right there.
Well, we've had a few.
I'm going,
bad ones. But I think we need to address this somehow. We have slowed it down, and what we've done in the past, we have actually set offices out there and wrote tickets. I don't know why we're having that problem doing it this year, because it's been a consistent problem ever since that academy opened down there.
Yeah, it's cut
We
through.
cry when we lose students' lives in wrecks every year at the end of school in this county. That's a serious problem going on. The bus situation, I think we're gonna have to address that with the Board of Education, because that's something that we cannot.
I think if they ticket the bus, then that'll get addressed immediately. Also, there's particular areas that,
I want to ticket the bus and get,
that they are dumping things at. I mean, is there?
I mean, it's all down the road.
That brand.
In fact, I talked to Ken. Ken said, I'll get the crew out there. They did a great job, but I mean, I'm sure, I was gonna go out there and take trash bags and bring them in here and show you how much trash was on there. But I don't think that would've worked. But it's getting that bad, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And it's
At
not,
one time, there was a lot of dumping in that branch, but I don't
yeah.
think that's so bad right
No,
now.
it's not as
Just-
bad. Somebody was dumping crabs and oysters and stuff like that in that branch. We had signs up. They're there, they're not there no more. When they did the road, they lost the signs.
So if we can get some, you know, I'd love to set some money aside, approve some trail cams for things like this to catch people doing these things. You know, that could be used anywhere in the city for that, so.
Lieutenant, I know you are somewhat familiar with this. The chief and I have had numerous conversations.
Yes, sir.
This is an area that's really has
Yes,
been
sir.
a problem.
Yeah.
We've got another area in the city that we've talked about this for years over on Lexington.
Yeah.
That's correct. There's several areas.
We've
that are
had a
to
similar
that.
kind of problem there. So this is very similar to what we've had there.
That's right.
And, you know, Joe and I have talked, and, I mean, you know, we can't keep a police officer there all the time, we
That's
know
right.
that. And so I think some heightened enforcement and visibility. These are students, these are
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
And they have no fear, and they have no respect for authority.
That's right.
And I think maybe you need to get their attention.
Yeah, we can hit the pocketbook a little bit. Get
Yeah.
the parents
Yeah,
involved.
so hit a parent pocketbook.
Yeah. Every year, we seem to tamp down on it, year by year, but the next year it increases again. Like you said, Councilman Scott, kids cutting through. I've never seen the school buses do that. I'll take him at his word on that, but I've never seen the school buses speed there. But I have seen pretty high speeds from students on there, as well as 7th Street as they cut through there. So I fear your pain on that. Luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had any significant crashes in a while there. But I believe you come in was it you that come in the office the other day?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so the police clerk informed me of that. So we sent out an email to patrol officers to immediately surge radar operations there in the times the kids are rolling over there. So they did. And they wrote double-digit citations over there. So I've already gotten phone calls from parents wanting to know, how they're gonna get their kids in a teen victim impact panel program or something similar to that. So it's so we're addressing that as best we can. But as far as the dumping, if and when you see that, if you would call and give us a description, if you see a vehicle do that, we can possibly locate it.
If I got my phone with me, I'll
Please.
definitely take a picture of the tag or whatever, but.
Because we can cite on that, or we can make arrest on that. And we can make them go back and clean it up and carry a citation with
Teach
them.
them a lesson.
That's right, that's right.
Well, and this,
The same thing's going, excuse me, I'm sorry. Same thing's going on over on Lexington.
Yes.
And it's, this zoom over there, 'cause that's a lot wider open than.
Not just that, I mean, we have, right across from the fire department, we have folks that like to use that little, where they're selling that little
Yeah,
cross over
yeah.
there. They like to use that, so it's something that's tough.
well,
I mean, it's-
we know we can't patrol it all the time.
Yes,
but
sir.
This particular situation is, pretty well got the times down. We
That's
know
right.
when you're coming
That's
through.
right, and that's how we were able to achieve those, high citation numbers in
Yeah.
a short period of time. Also, in the past, we've reached out to the Career Academy and have them put out something
I was
saying,
gonna recommend you.
So you
talk
need to make sure you tell the
schools
students to
and
slow
put
down.
Out there saying, we are patrolling this
That's
area
right.
at these times. You will
That's
be
right.
ticketed.
I even called them, and I also called Effingham County and asked them, what's going on with these buses cutting through? And then when they make that turn down off the ramp, they almost ran over James and his grandson. His grandson was in a stroller, and a car came down that slope and almost ran over James and his grandson. And it's just, and there's been 2 or 3, Carolyn, 3 accidents right there? 3 accidents, one death, right? Where they come off the side there too fast and go up in the air and hit pine trees in Carolyn Ziegler's yard, So it's just,
That was a
have
medical,
something?
that was a medical,
yeah, that wasn't related to the roadway, that was
Yeah.
a medical issue, they left the roadway.
that was two.
Yes, ma'am. There was one fatality.
well, I knew one of them was a medical because the lady or the guy had a seizure or
That's-
something.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. But the other 2, they hit the side of a pine tree this far up the tree, so.
Not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it happened a while back. But anyway, if y'all can, it sounds like we're on the same page, so maybe we can get something done about it, but the busing, I did talk to the bus driver person that's in charge, and, they said, well, we can't, we can tell them, but we can't stop them, and I'm going, well, get them a citation, they'll
Those
stop them.
buses have cameras inside and record speed and everything on the whole time, so they can do something about it.
That's right.
Get a bus number and record it.
Yeah, I can do
And
that.
take it there, take it to the board meeting.
Mr. Blue, Mr. Land, can you have some conversation with our school superintendent?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll
See Thursday as well.
give them a heads up if we're on notice about this and pass it along to them. Yes, sir. I'll reach out to Dr. Ford.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say, Mayor, is, you said the peak times are like 11:30 and 2:30.
Yeah, 2:30 is the key time, because that's when they're really, they're heading back towards the school.
Yes.
Between 2:15 and 3 o'clock, but most of the time, it's pretty close to 2:30 on the money, so. But anyway, what,
10:30, up 10:30.
10:30 and-
First class.
go into first class? Yeah, so there's a gap. I mean, I'm sure some of them got a first, second period or something like that, and then they get to go after that. But anyway, I appreciate whatever y'all can do.
Yes, sir.
And my neighbors do
so.
Thank y'all.
Very good, thanks, sir.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you so much.
Sounds like you're getting phone calls, you've,
Yeah,
getting their
we,
attention already.
it rings a bell right there once we, like I said, we address it and then it slows down and then it speeds up, you know, so then we have to go back. But we appreciate when the citizens, because like you said, Mayor, we can't be there all the time, so when the citizens are there and they see it, it's important they let us know that that's going on.
Yeah, okay. Did anyone else want to speak to it? I mean, I think Joe's stated it pretty well, but it's,
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
I'm Caroline George, and Dana King is in charge of the bus route,
Mhm.
and I'm sure she'd be accessible
Yeah.
if those buses can be rerouted.
Right. Yeah, that's a possibility too. I would need to reroute that bus.
Well, there's no students getting off of those buses
On that.
until they get all the way on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need for them going, it is a cut through is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And we also have these big gravel haulers. I would love to see if we could stop the big truck traffic through. We've got long haulers that are trying to bypass the DOT because they're illegally loaded and they come through and we know it because we could tell, you know, just looking at them, they're past the stacks on the trucks. And they're using that. If it was any way we could actually prohibit those bigger trucks, the big gravel haulers are coming through. I'm talking about the ones that got 4 sets of axles coming through. They're loaded down and the road is really not that wide. You know, the road never was to standard, and now that they built it to standard, they're almost in our yards.
Well, we
And
may
so
need
because-
to address a weight limit on that road. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's that, I don't know
Because
if
they
that's
come
something,
through
a
at 50 and
possibility.
60 miles an hour, but most of them, as I say, appear to be trying to get past DOT because they're either illegally loaded or you can tell the timber is way past the stacks on the trucks. And they're coming through there to keep from coming down the main roads.
Yeah.
Do we even need multi-axle vehicles on that road?
We don't, unless they're doing
It
delivery.
shouldn't be
Except
on
for-
there.
No.
Moving vans or something, that's
Yeah,
bad.
unless we're doing a delivery, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be anybody on that road like that.
I guess if we could put some signage up saying this is not acceptable on this road, or however you can word it. And then, you know, if they continue to do it, then start writing citation,
Yeah.
you know?
We give let's get back to staff. Let staff look
Yeah.
into what we need to do for the signs and everything. And Tim, the light over the branch there is out.
Sir?
That light over the branch is out.
Anybody else have anything else? Okay. I just gotta say that, you know, it's sad that Joe Bueller is the best y'all can put up here to talk.
I did the best I could. Hey, I talked your ear off, so I know you're glad I'm not talking to you, right?
I know Joe's out walking and he's telling me everything that's going on in the city, not just around our
Hey, I
area.
help keep things in
I get a
order.
phone call all the time about what's going on in the city.
I hadn't talked to my boy in a while.
Thank you for being concerned with it, Joe, all of you, really. It's definitely a problem, so, I think between our staff and our police department, we'll put some emphasis on it, see if we can get
I
it.
let your boy Timmy go, so.
Yeah,
I used to go with him, now I go with you.
yeah. All right, thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, item number 3, new business, is Rankin Recreation Department request approval for the sale of beer and wine at the Rankin Spring Fair. Mr. Osborne.
Mayor and council, this is, you know, each year we have our fair. A lot of times when the people come to the fair, they always ask me about the beer and wine, if we sell it, if we have it. Of course, we have never sold it at the fair. We did the beer and wine festival one year, but me and staff were talking and figured it wouldn't hurt to ask if you guys would approve us to sell the beer and wine. Of course, I know there'll probably be some questions on how would you monitor them, how many they get, or we put a limit. I say put a limit. We would stamp their hand. They would also receive a wristband every time they come and purchase. If they purchase 2, well, really, we would only give them 1 at a time. Each time they come to purchase one, we would take the hole punchers and punch a hole in their wristband, and once they hit that limit, then we're done serving them.
Mike, I feel like we're just creating a problem, honestly. We, and I understand you're thinking logically from the fundraising side, but
Right,
enabling people to bring their children to a fair, potentially and drink and leave,
yeah.
I think is not a good idea.
Yeah, this is-
Especially given the environment of it. If it was anything else, a beer and wine festival, great. A fair,
It's a children's event.
Yeah.
It's not an adult event.
that and teens and, they'll find a way to do whatever, you know what I'm
I
saying?
got you.
Someone will still bring it in whether you sell it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
And, it really hasn't hurt our attendance and,
No.
that I could tell by any means. So, yeah, I think you have to raise your security staff too, potentially, just because of the nature of it.
Right.
Is this request coming because you've had people ask for it? I mean,
Yeah.
citizens that go to these events?
Yeah, we've seen people bring it in, but we always have people asking if we sell it, and why don't we sell it? It just, we figure we give it a shot.
Any other thoughts from council or questions for Mike?
When are you proposing to have this spring fair, Mike?
It will start March the 30th, 31st, a Friday, and it'll go during spring break for the school.
During the school break?
Yeah. I was sending all that info out to everyone in an email.
Mike, have you looked into alcohol and licensing or anything like that already?
We have not looked at that yet. We were just waiting to see what was going to be said.
I agree with what Damon said, Mr. Franz said. And two, you're so busy during that time, put more, one more responsibility on your plate ain't gonna do it. I mean, cause you're already stretched thin. So, but I agree completely. It's an event for children, and if they wanna get something to drink, they can do it.
Do that.
Before they come. It just, I don't see, regardless of the revenue or what money it would bring in, I think that it's wise to keep it a drive in.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, the motion's in order.
Motion to that.
Yeah, I'll second that.
A motion by Mr. Scott, second by Mr. Ron, to deny request from Rankin Recreation Department for approval of the sale of beer and wine at Rankin Spring Fair. Any other question or discussion? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Brower?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
All right. Item number 4, request approval to pay Spatial Engineering Incorporated $10,803.26 for stormwater data validation and updates. Mr. Flynn?
Yes, sir, this is the work that Spatial Engineering did for us so that we could gather our stormwater customers, so that once we started implementing our stormwater fees, that we had everybody together and we had all of our data updated. So this is, if you look at the invoice in there, you'll see that it's dated from October 1st to October 31st, that the period we were doing all of our data mining and getting everything in place to begin that business.
All right, any questions from council?
Were they providing us with GIS data on this, like, visible?
They were,
Okay,
they were manually collecting it.
all right. Do we have that?
We did,
Can I get a copy of that?
absolutely.
Mayor, I'm in order. Offer motion for approval.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Scott, second by Mr. Blackwell to approve payment to Spatial Engineering Incorporated, $10,803.26 for stormwater data and validation and updates. Any other question or discussion? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Brower?
Yes.
Mr. Ron?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Item number 5, new business, is request to approve the City of Rankin's workers' compensation insurance with Georgia Municipal Association, policy period January 1st, 2023 through January 1st, 2024, at a total premium amount of $163,484. I know this is an increase, it's about 10%. Last year, if I remember correctly, last year it dropped. I know they audit us regularly, and evaluate us on our accidents and our history. And I guess my question would be, how did they justify this to us?
Yes, sir, it's, with their NASA math, the simplistic versions we got, where, our payroll went up, they base it on the number of positions we have, not the ones that are filled. And then Kelsey and I were just talking, it's also based upon, we had several workers' comp claims last year, so that takes your premium up.
Well, and that's what I'm asking. I mean, did we have an excessive number or a larger number of accidents last year that brought this about?
You got that one?
I guess I'd like to see our accidents.
I'll get the information and I'll email it out, but a lot of people were on workers' comp for an extended amount of time. I guess I can give you some, I'll email you the names.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like the case was just ended or they just got back to work. But yeah, we had quite a few. I think they had 2 in the police department, I think, just this year, 2 or 3.
What's that?
Fire, workers' comp.
Okay.
I'd like to see 2021 and 2022.
They normally give us a couple of years.
I mean, that would help me to understand why it went up.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna feel good about it, but it might make me feel a little better about it if I can justify it with something.
Jonathan, too, if we don't already have a, being the nature of my business that I'm in, safety is always top of mind on everything that we do. We open our job meetings, every meeting with a safety meeting. We have bi-weekly safety briefings. So it turns into a culture. If we don't already have a safety plan in place as far as, keeping it on top of every mind on everything we do, we need to see about integrating something like that. Because, human errors there, it's gonna happen. It's just the way things happen. But if there are things that can be addressed, let's not assume everybody knows everything. So see about getting some safety things put in place and maybe making that a regular weekly, bi-weekly occurrence. We do that.
I'm smiling, Ms. Hessling has already been tasked with that for the next year, is to start working, we're part of LGRIMS, a local government risk management group, to start taking their monthly bulletins and doing the trainings with the departments. And you can ask some of the department heads, one of my pet peeves, if I see anybody riding around without a seatbelt, I'll lose my mind. Those little common sense things that we do, but you're absolutely right, that's something we're absolutely gonna put into place.
Well, you need to have some safety programs in place, and as Mr. Ron said, you need to talk about it regularly. But one thing I would say, I would like to know is, and I mean, this is difficult, when someone has an accident. You really don't want to discipline someone, but if they have done something that has brought that accident about, as they say, accidents don't just happen. I mean, so, if we're not disciplining folks who are doing improper things in their work, then I think we're wrong. I think we need to make a record. And when I say discipline, that may sound like a harsh word, but there needs to be some kind of record of improper work procedures.
Yes, sir.
There should be a bare minimum of, PPE, equipment, if it was preventable, if it was non-preventable. That way we can keep a record of those things, because we want to take these preventable and unpreventable and learn from every accident we have. So there should be a topic to be talked about how to prevent this from happening again. And I would challenge each one of our, department heads and managers, because each, is unique to its own department, to try to, not try, let's implement these. There's 1,000 things out there you can take advantage of for free to do it.
Right.
What are the providers? get estimates from?
Typically, I don't believe we do get estimates from anyone else, just we're part of that GMA pool. And they do the workers' comp, they have such a large pool with the cities in Georgia that, yeah, I don't think we've shop rates in a while, and most cities don't just because of that. We can look at them just to kind of show you what that compares to.
I think we looked at it in years in the past, because it is pooled, it's hard to beat that price, but it wouldn't hurt to make a few phone calls and, find out, what else is out there.
Sure, absolutely.
So are we at a point that we have to have this paid by a certain time, or we're, in jeopardy of losing our workman's comp insurance,
So-
or?
What I would ask at a minimum, they did give us a little leeway based on our meeting schedule. They do require 25% of that amount paid within 30 days of the date that we received the invoice. So we received it around December the 12th, mid-December. So if you guys would allow us to pay that 25% and then come back for approval for the rest, and we can provide the numbers and get you the information you need, Mr. Mayor. We have until July 1st to pay the rest of it.
And normally what we do, we normally pay, if we can pay it, we pay it. But normally, they have a chart that they send to them that describes the payment and how we, and what we can do. And I think the last time, we just paid it. I'm thinking, the last time we just paid it. But if we can't pay it, then we do the 25%, then we look at the installments.
25% would be approximately $41,000.
And pay that, and then do the installments on it. But,
I could be good with that.
Okay.
But I do want to see some records, I'd like to look at it, I'd like to
I don't see any reason why.
know
we
some
couldn't have that for you.
justification for the
Yeah,
increase.
just
I don't see any reason why we couldn't have
Send it
that.
out to the entire council if you would.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to pay the 25% and then have staff come back with the additional documentation that the mayor asked about, and then bring the rest to council after we've had a chance to review.
Yes, sir.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Kirkland, second by Mr. Blackwell to approve the City of Rankin's workers' compensation insurance with Georgia Municipal Association policy period January 1, 2023 through January 1, 2024, to pay 25% of the total $163,484 now, and after further review of the records, to come back to council for approval of the balance. Any other question or discussion? Mr. Scott?
yes.
Mr. Brower?
Yes.
Mr. Ron?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor?
Yes,
Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
All right, item number 5A, request approval to purchase 3 Chevrolet Tahoes from Hardy Chevrolet in the amount of $111,816.
Mayor and council, as stated, that's exactly what it is. This is going to keep us in line with our 2020 fleet maintenance program that we talked about. The purchase of these 3 vehicles is going to take some of the vehicles we have in our aging fleet off the street, or make them spare vehicles. So these are going to come from Hardy Chevrolet in Paulding County.
They have a delivery time on these.
No, sir, I don't have a delivery time. I do know, it's my belief they're on the lot. So as soon as we can get confirmation, we can go ahead and place the order. The vehicles are held for us.
And we do have the payment in place for budgeting.
Yes, sir.
Budgeting.
Yes, sir. It would be come out of the police department's allocation from SPOS.
make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Ms. Taylor, second by Mr. Scott to approve the purchase of 3 Chevrolet Tahoes from Hardy Chevrolet in the amount of $111,816. Proceeds to come from Police Department SPOS funds. Any other question or discussion?
Chief, this, the outfitting is gonna come after?
Yes, sir.
after this?
Yes, sir. I do have some information on that, but I believe the chief's going to present that to mayor and council at another time. Mhm.
All right, any other question or discussion? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Brower?
Yes.
Mr. Ron?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor?
Yes,
Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
And item number 5B is request approval to purchase 2 Chevrolet Tahoes from Hardy Chevrolet in the amount of $74,544.
Yes, sir. Same thing, they're gonna come from Hardy Chevrolet. These vehicles will be designated to the SRO program for the school board. So there will be some reimbursement on the back end of that, as agreed in the contract with SRO with the school board.
Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Brower, second by Mr. Blackwell to approve the purchase of 2 Chevrolet Tahoes from Hardy Chevrolet in the amount of $74,544. Funds to come from school reimbursement and SPOS. Any other question or discussion? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Brower?
Yes.
Mr. Ron?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, we are now to administrative reports. Mr. Lynn?
Yes, sir, I do have a couple things really quickly. If you guys notice, Dulcia has installed our owls, as they call it. If you can look on the screen for streaming this live on Facebook, whoever is talking, the camera automatically pans to that person, so there's never trying to figure out who's talking and that. So this is our first go-around. We hope to be able to do this and eventually gear away from the Ring Central telephone and just have all the meetings live streamed on Facebook. It also does a great feature. Facebook archives all the meetings, all the videos, so they will always be there. And we can also download them. So this is our first go round of that, just kind of getting us in a new direction. Remind everybody that the railroad is tentatively scheduled to do their maintenance work on the crossing at 15th Street on January the 31st. We have started posting the notices on the Facebook pages, and I believe Tim's crews are gonna be nice enough to distribute some materials out there. We had a meeting last week to kind of get the logistics with the school transportation, the sheriff's office, fire department, police department, and CSX was on the phone. The mayor went over and talked to Guns, and they're gonna be gracious enough to let parking take place at their facility as well to minimize that impact. And Tim's gonna have their van shuttling people back and forth to the crossing into the neighborhood. So we're doing everything we can to minimize the impacts of that. We have been told that it's only slated for a 12-hour closure. The fire department's gonna be ready to wet it down to make sure everything dries and cures fast enough for that to happen. The only unknown right now, we hope to get a definitive answer this week, is to make sure that it is gonna stay taking place on January the 31st. So as soon as we know anything different, if we do, we will let everybody know and let everyone know to monitor our Facebook page and the PD's Facebook page should that information change. For those attending, reminder that Effingham Day at the Capitol begins Sunday and goes for a couple days. If you need any information on that, please let us know. I think Dulcia's got everyone's travel arrangements taken care of. The last thing I have tonight, Mayor and Council, is there is a request for a workshop. And we are looking at doing that on Monday, February the 6th. And we wanted to make sure that was okay with everyone's schedule. There will be a couple, call them administrative items, policy things to talk about, but there's the Exley annexation property. They would like to come back and start that process again, but they would like to begin with a workshop with you guys, and that would be the majority of that workshop.
I will not be here, so.
Are you available to participate via